Oh, Foo Fighters and All My Life on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. So, just before we do educating, Ricky, this is where Karl thinks he can give me something of interest and teach me something to take away. Last week I found out that, somewhere in a strange land, people thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate them with lead. Things like that. What was the other one you told me?
What else was it last week? Bit of worms. Cut me off.
Yeah. Oh, I sent him a text message. I was on the train, a bit bored, and, I read in, I think it was Metro, scientists have found out that, worms get stressed, and they found out that, the fat ones, didn't live as long. And when they checked the thin ones that lived longer, they found out they had a gene for de-stressing them. Right? Karl, do you remember what you said?
No.
He went, well, that's stupid, isn't it? He said, did these other ones die of natural causes? I went, yeah. He went, alright. Because it could be that the fat ones couldn't get off the pavement quick enough and got squashed. So maybe the scientists go, yeah, we didn't... yeah, they come to think of it, they were flat as well as fat.
I think the reason that the, worms are getting stressed is because, people like Karl are cutting them in half to try and make 2 snakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two worms.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
That's the concern.
he said they can't even commit suicide if they're stressed by cutting their throat. I also sent what I thought was quite interesting, that the scientists have found that the elephant hasn't got the best memory. The sea lion has,
Right.
based on they've got a sea lion and they got it back into the old laboratory. 10 years after it taught it a simple trick, and it could still do the trick. What did you say to that, Karl?
I'd say they don't get up to much anyway, so if you do teach it something, it is going to remember it.
Sure.
Because it's got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it also, I mean, I like sea lions, they look nice and everything, but what do they do?
What was it? Sea lions?
Yeah, what are they here for? It's another jellyfish, as far as I'm concerned. It's like, it's there and people know about them, but what do they do?
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do, Karl?
Well,
what do we do?
A cat, first, Steve said, is good for your heart. So
Why is it all geared to what's good for us?
Well... Anyway.
Educating Ricky.
Good, we've settled that then. Go on.
The titles that are, meant to sort of pull you in.
Yeah.
We've got, what was it? Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Yeah.
You've got, It's Not His Fault. And, Get a Load with This.
Get a load of this. So, which pun do I pick first? I think I'll go for, get a load of this.
Get a lobe of this.
Yeah, get a load of this, yeah.
Well, that's a story about a girl who, she was deaf, right, for 4 years. And, it happened quite a bit back this.
What year? Or was it,
I think it was
ages ago, was it?
Yeah, quite a bit back. She was deaf for about 4 years. Having an argument with her mum, it said, which I didn't quite understand. Because I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
But she was having an argument, and a man pushed her against the wall, and she banged her head, and her hearing came back.
Okay.
Was she wearing a Walkman, and it fell out? And she'd realised, well, oh,
There's no explanation.
There's no explanation? Well, why is that teaching me something then?
Right, so I knew you'd say this, right? So I thought, right, I'll stick something on it. Do you know that bees are deaf?
No! No, you can't just, no! No! If you ask someone something they don't know the answer to, they don't tell you something else. Just, I'll tell you something else then. I can't answer that, I'll tell you something else. Imagine that, if you asked a teacher. Look, how do birds fly? Wow, if you're gonna do that, tallest building is, I mean, what?
Well,
that was the equivalent, Karl, of running away when they asked you a question.
Yeah, the intellectual equivalent of going, look over there, there's a monster.
Yeah.
Listen. What do you mean? What she? Okay, so
so her
there's
hearing
no
came back.
explanation. There's no explanation, or you don't know.
well, there isn't one, is there, really? It's a bit
What?
weird.
Did
But the
doctors,
only
did
thing
the doctors not look into it?
No, I think they just said, oh, that's good.
But, so again, I don't. Where did this information? Is that if you read this on
Is
the net?
that
Is that
it?
all they put on
There
the
was
net?
once a deaf woman who hit her head and she
And her
could hear.
hearing came back.
It was bizarre things about being deaf.
Was there
and-
three
Oh,
like?
yeah.
Was there
I've
sort
got
of,
that book. Yeah, it's a good book. That.
Was there 3
Yeah.
more pages you just couldn't be bothered to read on?
Yeah.
No, it was just a little bit, and it
Was there a
said-
little picture, a cartoon picture?
No pictures, I just
And we
read
going,
it.
ow,
Look,
ow,
if
I
you don't
can
want to
hear.
know, if you don't want to learn, you know.
Yeah. Okay, it's not his fault. Let me have It's Not His Fault. You gotta save this. This has gotta teach me something. It'll be an interesting story.
Right, it's not his vault. This fella,
Yeah. What year? Ages ago?
Olden times?
I'd say in the 70s.
Okay.
Would you? Any evidence for that?
And,
Does he wear flares in the story?
Right,
Is that
it's-
your reason?
no, it's a bit like Yuri Geller, this fella, right? Where he's electric.
He's electric.
And, if he walks past the telly would fizz.
Uh-huh.
If he walked past the radio, it all goes like that.
Oh.
His hair stuck up all the time. And he'd be having a bath and everything would be alright, and then the power would sort of switch on in his body, and the electric in his body made him jump out of the bath. So...
What do you mean so? What is that so? What does that so mean? You've given us nothing. You've given us nothing.
You'd have to at least give us the scientific explanation.
Yeah.
Electric eels have 400 volts in them.
Oh, is this the running away again?
What was that one called?
Yeah, but but
It's not his volt.
but there's a reason that it's not his fault. It's not his fault. I thought it was going to be something about keeping it in a safe.
I think we should do these the other way round. I
It's
think you
not
should
his
tell us
fault.
the story and then we'll hear the pun.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Right, let's leave it.
Play a tune.
Forget it.
Educating Ricky.
Doing it. We're not doing it.
No, we are. Oh. What? Don't look at me like that.
Oh, Carl, you're in a bad mood.
The coral,
I'm all right.
dreaming of you. Right, do the last one. Do the last one. Carl's saying we're never doing this again because we don't appreciate it. Yeah, Carl, you don't know how good this feature is, mate.
Right, last one.
Yeah.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Go on then, tell me about that one. What's that? What am I going to learn from this?
Right, well, do you know the saying, put a sock in it?
I like it already.
Do you know the saying?
Yeah.
Right, well, do you know where it comes from?
I assume it's shut up, so I'll stuff your mouth with a sock to shut you
Well,
up.
Years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, am I right?
No, not really. Ages ago.
1970s?
50s,
Okay.
I'd say. Do you know the old,
I'd say.
do you know the old gramophone?
Yeah.
With the big horn on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, well, those stereos didn't have a volume control on them. Right? So they'd be listening
Oh, so
to
you
the
put a
album,
sock in the...
and you'd
mute.
you'd put something like a sock.
That's a real one, you see. That's taught me something. That's good. That's excellent, Carl. That is the only one that counts, like chewing the fat, if they're true. I'm assuming they are. It works. It's of interest. I haven't got it verified yet, but that is educating Ricky. That's brilliant. I will say, the other two were more entertaining. So, you know, I don't...
Do you understand the distinction, though, between that one and Electrical Man?
And, or I've hit me head, I can hear you, Mum.
Yeah. Can you see the difference, though? Or...
Not
all
really,
three-
because when I read all three, I took something away from all of them.
What did you take away from the
other
Electrical
two?
Man?
I just thought, oh, imagine that. Imagine how annoying that would be.
But that's
Yeah.
not education, is
And
it
it's
really?
not taking
No,
anything
but what-
away.
Think about it, right? We take our lives for granted all the time, don't you? You get up in the morning, it's like, oh, I'll get up and walk for a shower. Some people can't walk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, he can't even have a... You know what I mean? It's nice to have a bath, isn't it, when you got time on your hands and
Yeah.
you can relax. This guy can't even do that. He might be alright for a bit, but he's not really enjoying it, because at any moment, it could strike.
Yeah.
So, he can't even do that. He can't comb his hair, because it keeps going a mess.
Yeah.
He can't watch his
Nor can
favourite-
you.
No, he can't.
Does he fight crime? What does he do with his powers?
Yeah.
I think he just has to sit around, because he can't work with machinery,
Right.
because he'll probably blow a fuse.
Yeah, so he just sits around.
Think about it, what can he do? What normal things can he do?
Skateboarding.
Going for long walks.
Yeah,
Put a wetsuit on.
well, he couldn't do that.
Why?
Ooh, water and electric.
No, wetsuits aren't actually wet. They're dry initially.
You just put a whole wetsuit on and walk round with flippers and
A
rub the
wetsuit's
sole.
not like a dinner jacket that's like really wet.
Well,
Yeah.
all I'm saying is think, do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And what was the
And
other one
the
again?
girl, the girl deaf for 4 years hits her head.
Yeah. That's just,
What have you learned from that?
What is that?
Well, imagine how happy you'd be. Remember that time when I nearly died when I choked on a Mr. Freeze pop? Right?
No, tell us that one again.
No, I told you, didn't I?
Tell us again.
Yeah, but the people will remember it, and then it's...
They
annoying.
won't. They weren't listening. Go on. What happened?
It was ages ago when my mum and dad used to go out shopping on a Friday. Get all the
1970s?
get the food in. get a week's load of food in the cupboard and that, and we'd, you know, they'd come in with all the food, and we'd all be like, oh god, you know, there's no food left on a Thursday really, so we'd all be hungry on the Friday by the time the food got in.
I love that.
And
That
I'd
they
be
wouldn't
like-
eat it. I imagine him like jackal puppies.
Yeah.
Just like licking your parents' mouth for food as they
So-
come through the door.
So they come in from the supermarket, they're emptying the box, Our kid had got some biscuits and what have you. I
Frenzy, just a feeding frenzy, like pigeons.
I grabbed the Mr. Freeze Pop and knocked it back really quick, but it wasn't frozen, so I knocked it back so it was like a liquid, and it went down the wrong way, right, and I was choking, right, and I nearly died. It must have been about, how long can you go before you die?
A couple of minutes to do
Right,
it.
I reckon about a minute 50. Right, I was really close to dying.
How do you know you were close to dying? Did your life flash before you?
No, but I just was like...
There's loads of instances of him eating pops.
Yeah, exactly.
I just was dead.
40 of those.
Whatever, right?
What do
anyway.
you think you'd see if your life flashed past you? What do you think, which elements would stand out for you, do you think?
What? Start now, go back. Zoom, what do you remember? What's the first thing you remember?
As a kid.
Yeah, just anything now.
Being in a hall and having our dog licking my face.
That's your earliest memory?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one?
Right, next one's probably being at primary school with Lindsay.
Yeah.
Was that your girlfriend?
Well, a little friend who was a girl.
Sure.
And we used to have like tins with letters in, and you'd have to write stuff. But anyway, what are we doing?
I got confused.
Right, so anyway,
I'm intrigued by the dog that was licking your face.
well, bin that.
We won't win that.
no, it's a great feature. I just think you need to be a little bit more careful about what you consider to be education.
Gone
Alright,
funny. I fell over.
Alright, well, I'll...
We'll work on it next week. Play a tune, and what have you got for us? Because we've got a big competition.
We've
Come
got
on.
to do the competition. We've only got 25
Yeah, well, come on
Don't
then,
worry
quick
about
then.
it, Carl.
Do
Play a
something,
tune.
play
We'll
a
come back
tune.
with Rockbusters.
What we playing?
Let's play a bit of,
Death in Vegas. Scorpio Rising.
featuring the voice of, is it Noel Gallagher?
Liam, innit?
Is it Liam?
Sounded a bit like him.
Liam, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
alright, isn't it?
Excellent, yeah. Right, okay, let's get this show well and truly on the road. We better start, educating Ricky next, Carl? What have you got for me? I can't wait for learning. I need learning. I need education.
We should just
Teach
explain,
me something.
obviously, for those that have just tuned in, Carl, tries to teach Ricky 3 things each week.
Based on the pun title,
And yeah,
educating Rita.
each of them, just to tantalise Ricky, is, abbreviated into some kind of headline.
A cryptic clue
tantalise him.
involving a pun.
So what have you got for us this week?
They are really cryptic this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
First story, little headline, is, don't worry about him, he candle it.
He candle it.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like he can handle it, but it's not. Brilliant.
Second one.
Oh, get a lobe of
I'm
Get a lobe of this.
Some classics. Who
Yeah.
can forget? Get a lobe of this.
Yeah. Coming soon.
And Stocking Aitken Waterman. Go on.
second one,
Yeah.
I'm committed to this treatment.
I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah,
Alright, tantalising.
yeah. And the last one, the police are causing a bit of a stare.
The way he looks when he says it. I wish we could see. Can't we get Carl on telly?
There's got to be a way. There's
We
got to be a way.
cannot. With all the cable channels, anyone can get on telly these days. Let's
Right,
get. Let's phone up. Let's get you on Choice or something. Just a little. Just Carl.
What are you going for?
Oh, he can handle it. I think.
Don't worry about him, he candle it.
He candle it.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah.
let's hear this one.
Right, are you familiar with the phrase, burning the candle at both ends?
Yeah.
Do you know how it's come about?
I know a man
Well,
who does.
I assumed that it was to get more light in the room.
How would that work?
Well, they'd put it sideways and light both wicks, so out of one candle they could get
No.
two. No, go on.
No, what it is...
I know what
is,
it means. It means you're doing too much. You're staying up too much.
Right.
You're not getting enough sleep, and you're
Well, years ago,
yeah.
when they didn't have light bulbs and that.
Oh yeah. What year is this? Literally ages ago, specifically.
Yeah, quite a bit back.
Okay.
Didn't have light bulbs and that, so they used to have candles
When
in
did the light bulb come in? Because I can't remember at the moment.
don't know.
Okay, go on.
So, yeah, so they've got a light bulb.
You're not. You wouldn't know. You're a doctor. You're not a historian. Go on.
And people who worked a lot of hours, yeah,
How many? Literally lots.
they get up early in the morning because they have to be up early,
Yeah,
and it's dark outside, so they light the candle,
sure.
and they wear it out a bit, and then they'd be getting in late as well,
Yeah.
and like, they'd be like, oh, it's dark, I'll have to light the candle again, and they're burning candle at both ends of the day. So that's where the saying comes from, burning the candle at both ends. So,
Alright.
that's a little lesson.
Yeah.
Lesson one.
Okay. Can I have?
No, you can't have
You
another
can't
one
rush
yet.
into them, Rick. You've got to.
I've got to soak in that.
You've got to soak that one in. Any questions for Carl off the back of that?
What do you think?
So people were, I mean, basically where this comes from is people were
They're literally burning the candle
both
at the end of the day.
Sure.
There you go. So we've still got,
Go on.
I'm committed to this treatment, and
I can't wait. This is like Christmas
Rick, I
Eve for
should
me.
just say-
It's like Christmas. I've got to open another present now.
No, I'm afraid we've got to save it. But Rick, listen, we often get a lot of email correspondence during
Sure.
the show, Rick, which I don't sort of pass on to you because I mean you're busy, you're planning the show and stuff.
Sure,
You've got a lot of
sure,
ideas, you've got
sure.
music and stuff to worry
Yeah.
about. So I check the emails, and we get a lot of response. A lot of people obviously, you know, want to give us feedback. Just a sample one from Richard Anderson. He's just emailed us in here, Rick, because he's been listening to the show. He says, Ricky, your show is appalling. Are you actually aware you're on the radio, or has someone just secretly stuck a microphone on you? That's from Richard Anderson. So that's typical of the kind of feedback, Rick, we're getting
Really?
today. So,
Is that good, is it?
So that's the kind of, high positive praise that we're getting. So,
I'm
keep,
glad
going
Anderson's
the same
listening
way.
because I wanted him.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I was gunning for him as a fan.
I was worried that
early,
Anders,
early on in our career. So
absolutely, but,
I think he's hooked now, though.
but thanks, Anders, for getting in touch. Good work.
he's sitting through it for Hellraiser, though, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's still to come,
That's
of
still
course,
to come.
Rockbusters.
Still to come. What we playing?
A bit of old dirty I can't say the word, it's offensive. Old
Is it
ODB.
bollocks? Is it old dirty bollocks?
No.
what is it?
Old dirty.
Old dirty big cock? What is it? What is it?
I can't tell you, it's offensive.
Nirvana.
Amazing.
We were just talking, we were getting excited about that,
Yeah,
weren't
he's
we?
got an incredible voice
Brilliant.
he has.
And Grohl, drumming, it's brilliant. You know, you're right, the new one from Nirvana. Well, it's time for Educating Ricky Part 2, isn't it? I'm excited, Carl. I'm gonna learn so much from this. What's the choices again? What
Right, you've got left.
Still keep phoning your answers to,
Email.
Email, sorry, yeah.
The answers to Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Educating Ricky, Part 2.
Right. I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
one.
I've gotta go for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other one is the police are causing a bit of a stir.
He still says it like it's the best thing he's ever come up with, which in a way it is.
It could be. Right, go on then. I'm committed to this treatment.
Right. Do you know the saying?
Is it just sayings now? Are they all sayings this week?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, the other one isn't. Frog in your throat?
The saying, there's a frog in your throat?
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
assume it's when you croak a little bit. You sound like a frog.
No. Right. Might seem a bit weird, this one, right? But years ago,
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what is that clue? Committed to this treatment?
it's about frogs Kermitted.
Probably works better with a K and an
Yeah.
ER written down.
Well, also, if you'd pronounced it Kermitted,
yeah.
but not committed.
Committed to this treatment! Right, go on then.
That's
Right,
genius.
so yeah.
Well, what?
You go to the doctors and you go with throat hurting a bit.
Right.
And what they did ages ago,
Ages ago. What year was this approximately?
we are going back quite a bit with this
Oh,
one.
okay, go on.
And the doctor would say,
You got it to history. Imagine years ago. Go on.
and the doctor would say, right, keep your mouth open. I need to look at your tonsils, and the jaw would ache a bit because they weren't as quick back then because they didn't have the technology and stuff, and they'd have to
Sure.
like stare at it and study it and stuff, and like they get an achy jaw, right?
Keeping their mouth open.
Yeah, like you get, you know,
Yeah.
when you eat a Mars bar or whatever, it's like that. So, they'd sat there, and they used to always close their mouth, and it used to annoy the doctor,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
So what they did, they used to get a toad
Right.
and put it in the mouth,
Rubbish.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
and that way they couldn't close the mouth because either they'd squash it,
Right.
or apparently you're not allowed to lick a toad's back.
So the doctor would have them for breaking the law.
No, but it's poisonous, right? A toad's back. You should never lick a toad's back.
Sorry.
Or put it in your mouth, really.
Oh, just stop for a second.
Wait. What?
Can I just ask one question?
Go on,
Can I
yeah,
just
go
ask
on.
one question?
I've got a few, but
No,
go on.
sure. My initial thought is, it sounds like a brilliant bit of sort of medical knowledge there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
My only thought is, how does the doctor see past the toad at your tonsils?
What's he actually looking at with the mouth open? Surely the toad is
Isn't
in
it
the
like
way.
hopping around in the way?
It didn't say.
Sorry, and my first question is, was this on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Carl, that is bollocks. That is, I mean,
Well, alright then. Let's turn this round. Where does the saying, you got a frog in your throat come from?
Probably because you sound a bit croaky. Probably that. Probably because you sound a little bit like a frog when you've got a sore throat.
Carl, did you not question it just for a moment when you read it? Just for a second, didn't you think, that seems an odd approach? Firstly, why a frog, of all the different
Because
species?
it's poisonous. A toad.
So it's a toad as well?
Yeah, well, it worked. I'm committed. Worked.
No, not that.
no,
It's the
my
frog
point
in your
is it's
throat.
frog in the throat.
I was gonna change it to, have you heard the news Toad Day? But I went with the frog.
Oh God!
Right, so
that's
think
rubbish.
about it.
So that's rubbish. Next, can I have,
Let's play a tune, let's come up with the last one.
God.
Oh,
Can I just say,
Colin?
no, just play it.
yeah?
Yo, Carl. Why are you telling me this? I mean, thank you, because it's, you know, killed a couple of minutes, but why is this educating me? What are you telling me here?
Because there's a bit of a thing there, a bit of a fable, that don't always judge a book by its cover. Yeah? So, the guy, he hadn't even had a drink. He'd probably just been shopping,
Yeah.
walking down the street, and everyone's, like, getting involved, like, what's he doing? He shouldn't...
Hang on, I don't understand. He's walking down the street, happens to have a glass eye. He was doing nothing else to suggest he was drunk. You don't pick people up just because their eye looks like
Oh.
that.
But even if it happened, why are you telling me? With no particular detail. I know this, but then we're gonna get
There's not
people...
enough information.
I know, yeah.
No, there's a bit of a lesson there, educating Ricky, just, you know, just watch what you say. Don't always jump to conclusions.
I think the only education I can take from that is that, if I ever do become a policeman, I shouldn't just arrest people because they look a bit drunk. I should just tap their eye with a pen and goes, oh, okay, on you go.
Well,
On you go, yeah.
Guys, can I just stop you there? I'm just going to email Richard Anderson and tell him I agree.
right, listen, we're running out of time and that. We've got the
where
answers.
did the phrase
We've got-
frog in the throat come from?
We've got
it here. He's been told.
Well, there's
Listen,
three.
we play a tune and come back with that. Have we got anything lined up?
yeah, we've got the song with a story in it.
Come on,
Okay.
Carl, let's do something. Quick, play a record.
Song with a story in it.
But never
this
mind
week.
that, just, they're listening. We discussed this off air, come on. Play a record.
Play it.
It's
Song for-
Kinks.
yeah, Kinks. The Kinks.
It's a song with a good story in it. You got to listen to the words.
Carl, what was that? That was your little song with a story,
That's
wasn't
another little feature that we do every Saturday. Little
So
song.
make sure you tune in.
It's a song that's got a good story in it. There's a lot of music about these
What's
days.
that story about then? What's that story
You don't know
about?
what they're going on about. Whereas that classic from the Kinks called Lola.
Yeah, what's it about?
I'd listened to it for the first time properly this morning.
Yeah.
And what I've worked out from it is, there's a fella who goes out for a normal Saturday night out. He's in Soho.
Yeah.
He's having a Coca-Cola or whatever. And
Cherry Cola, yeah.
he sees this woman, and he thinks, yeah, she's alright. Won't mind a bit of that. So he wanders over, and he sort of gets talking to her. He looks at her, and she's got a great figure, nice face and all that.
Lovely knob.
And she speaks, and he goes, oh God, got a bit of a bloke's
Frog in the
voice.
throat, yeah.
Got a bit of a voice like a bloke. But he thought, but you know, that's her only down point.
Sure.
So he dances around with her, and I think he sits on his knee, I think he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out it's a fella.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
A sobering lesson.
Yeah.
What do you take from that?
look always sort of, if you think you might be talking to, a
bloke in
bloke who's
drag.
just look at it as his sort of Adam's apple. And he'll probably have a hairier arse than a woman.
Yeah, I think you've gone too far then, though. I think you're already getting too close.
It's a bit late to pull out.
No, pun intended, definitely.
There was a pun intended.
Oh, was it? Alright, was it?
Yes.
Alright, okay, we don't be disgusting then. Right, okay, right, the results of,
We
Blockbusters.
ain't got a winner for the first time.
Yes, we have,
We've
we've
done
got
this
loads.
feature for...
We've got loads of winners.
No, we haven't. We've done this feature for 3 weeks. This is the first time I've managed to sort of...
What?
Well, let's go through them then.
What have they got wrong?
The first one.
The
Right,
first one.
What was the
first one,
clue?
yeah, the first one.
Well, hang on. Let's do them in reverse order first. So what's the last one?
The last one, the clue was, that bloke does sport on the telly and he's got a little kid.
What's that?
That's Destiny's Child. Des, who does ITV Sport,
that's
he's got a
terrible,
tiniest
man.
child, right? No,
That's terrible.
that's fine,
Yeah,
they got that.
okay.
Destiny's
that-
Child. What's the one?
Des
What's the
Tiniest
middle
Child.
one?
Right, the middle one,
Right.
right?
Child.
The second one was, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Right? That was PD, that was Puff Daddy.
That is offensive. Go
But
on.
that, it's not Puff Daddy. It's Puff Daddy. And he's not even called that anymore. He's called P Diddy.
Well,
Okay, fair enough.
But they got that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I'm being tight, these lot are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight means something in Manchester. Go on.
Right. And the first one that they're having problems with, I don't think them birds should be allowed in this
They've
area.
got it. Boyzone.
It's not Boyzone.
What's the clue again?
I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
That is perfect. A boy zone. No birds.
No women.
No women, yeah, birds, right? A boy zone. Sorry, Carl. If that isn't the answer, their clue is better than yours. That is brilliant. What was yours? Boy zone, it works perfectly.
What's your answer then?
Bangles.
I have no idea what that means.
Like seagulls. So you don't want them in this area, so you're banning them. Bangles.
Oh! Well, give it to Boyzone, because Boyzone's better. Don't use birds to be allowed in this area, it's a Boyzone.
I think we should have a rollover. Carl beat them. Carl beat them. You have to use his logic, surely.
But theirs works. You can't do what am I thinking. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It perfectly. It works perfectly. I think you've got to give it to the ones that got the Boyzone.
Well, how about, right, because they didn't actually get into my head and my way of thinking,
heaven
right?
forbid.
How about we just keep back the David Attenborough, and they can have, I'll chuck in the Hellraiser, right?
Okay.
Nice of you.
And, Blondie album and the Madness one.
Yeah, okay, pick a winner at random.
Pick a winner, Steve.
I'm gonna give it to Paul Sloman, who got those answers, and he also says, P.S. Carl, you're a moron. So, I'm giving that to Paul, and good luck to him.
Right, well,
He's got a crazy night tonight. If we can rush these over to him, he's got a cracking Saturday night.
well, if I'm a moron, I might get your address wrong when I send them to you.
Ooh.
Oh,
Coming right back at you, Paul.
Yes. Right, John, play your song.
Is this
Carl's annoyed because
Wow,
they didn't
he's
get
wild.
banned goals.
A song from, song for the ladies. I think we seem to have missed this a lot of weeks, but, this
Sure.
is, I've been wanting to play this
It's
for
not like
ages.
us to forget things like that.
This is a band, Frente, who kind of came and went and no one was particularly interested, but they did do this lovely acoustic version of the New Order tune, Bizarre Love Triangle, and
right.
this just shows you how incredible the melodies and the words and everything are.
Brilliant, I'm a fan.
New Order, just play this.
Good night.
Songs for the
Bye-bye.
ladies. Is this
Bye.
in the week?
Do you reckon Richard Anderson will be back next week?
Yeah, Richard Anderson will not miss this show.
Excellent.
Work it on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Educating Ricky?
Yeah.
Should I do a bit of that?
Well, the clues are coming in furious.
The answers, I should say, yeah.
Yeah. So go on. Oh, this is what.
Yeah, Rockbusters is well underway, Carl. Don't worry, you've done your work now.
Okay.
Right, come on.
Right, Educating Ricky.
This is my favourite bit now.
You're just going to tease us, aren't you, with 3 headlines, if you
And
like.
I'm gonna choose one, then we got the other 2 as well.
Yeah, that's
Go
the
on.
way it works, and at the end of it, you learn some stuff. Like I say, I'm struggling a bit with knowledge.
Yeah.
At last he confesses.
Yeah. Go on.
So the 3 headlines for you to pick from, we've got, first one, we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
I got a feeling there's some vegetables involved.
Yeah, go on.
Maybe. Second one, he's a bit of a nuisance.
Okay.
Alright?
Right.
And, third one, I'll bacon in the morning, if you're sick of having me here.
Oh, that one.
I'll bacon in the morning if you're sick of having me.
Right, I'm having that one.
That's brilliant.
Right, well, it's a saying. Do you know, cold shoulder? Giving someone the cold shoulder?
Yeah.
Alright, if you have someone round at your house, and, you know, you try to get rid of them, and they're hanging around and stuff, and you're like, oh, I wish they'd go, I'm tired and that. Well, years ago,
When? Literally years ago. Well, ages ago.
sort of,
Olden times.
I think it said medieval times.
Yonks ago then, yonks ago.
Yeah. Medieval, yeah.
We're going back quite a bit on this
Well,
one.
you know when you find out these books, why don't you just pop down when it was?
Just make a note.
I don't think it says all the time, it just sort of says, you know, a few years back.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
Never.
alright, I'll make an effort next week.
Okay.
Right? So, it's annoying that, because my girlfriend said to me, just make a note of the time and he'll stop having a go at you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I kind of thought, oh, it's alright.
Didn't listen?
I don't think it matters anyway in this one. We're looking at the saying, right? So
Yeah.
it's giving someone a cold shoulder, right? And what it is, right? Ages ago, there wasn't enough houses for people.
Alright.
Because there wasn't much money being made. You know, there weren't big businesses. People weren't earning good money like they are now. So there wasn't as many houses, right? So what you ended up getting is like, you know, the rich people having a nice place to live.
Oh.
And the poor people were like wandering about, you know, looking for places to live and that. And what they ended up doing is, they had like, people would go round to the mate's house and say, look, I haven't got anywhere to live. It's a bit cold. Can you let me stay? Right? So they'd go, oh, alright, then you can stay a couple of days. But they ended up staying for like weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So, to sort of get rid of them, what they'd end up doing, they'd be making the dinner. And they'd, be making a lovely dinner, like a bit of meat, nice warm meat. And, nice veg.
Yeah.
Gravy and
This happened every time, did it?
No.
This is where the saying came
This is
from.
what happened, Rick.
This
what
is
happened.
happened every time.
It was in that vague book.
the book of vague sayings and stuff.
Right, so they'd be making a nice meal, but what they did, they looked after all the family. But the person who won't go home, they just give them some, like, sort of a cut-off of cold meat.
Right.
So they'd say, you're giving them the cold shoulder. Meaning...
Right. Okay, that's rubbish. Okay, absolute.
Carl, why does that necessarily work?
Yeah. Why
Is it not
do they always, in every situation when you want to get rid of a lodger, well, still feed him every day, but make the meat lukewarm. So
They always leave then.
Yeah.
Oh, this food's lukewarm. I'm gonna become homeless
and they
again,
go,
wandering the
hold on,
streets.
are you giving me the cold shoulder? Yes. Do you want me to leave? Yes, just say leaving. No, I like to do it cryptically. That way, in years to come, someone will have a little saying about it.
Well, anyway, that was our bacon in the morning.
Yeah.
If you've had enough of meat, we'll leave that.
Well,
Bacon in the morning! Oh, bacon in the morning if you've had enough of me!
we'll come back. What are the others? Just tease us again with the others. We'll come back to those.
You've got, he's a bit of a nuisance, and,
Brilliant.
we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Nice. Looking forward to that.
Okay.